My name is Lex Conaway.
Jacob Narvaez.
Sahel Scully.
Maxwell Gale.
Olivia Deloach.
Monty Brown.
Samuel Jackson.
Lonnie.
Brandon Lee.
Michael Levencia.
Molly Steele Miller.
Alfonso.
Samaya Epps.
Comforting is like a weird word to say, but a lot of places I feel like don't necessarily have the diversity of athletes that we do on this campus. So as I walk through the halls or go to games, I'm in the training room, in the fitness center, I would say I feel like I belong. I feel like I see people who look like me. I see people who go through the same things I go through and can kind of understand me. So I guess comforting or belonging.
It's one of those things that it just feels empowering because I came from like a high school where there was only a handful of mixed people of color in the school. So it definitely feels like a more like home situation.
On this campus, the environment is everything I was looking for. I feel safe here as a black athlete, and that's one of the many things I love about Mitchell.
He just setting the standard for black athletes.
And we know we're going to keep pushing them every single day to strive to be the best version of themselves and showing examples of black people in college.
It definitely feels like you have a chip on your shoulder all the time because you never know. You always get the less amount of chances because basically all the athletes here, like a lot of them are white. But like on the the basketball team here, it's predominantly black, so it makes you feel a little bit more at home, but it also makes you feel like you definitely have a chip on your shoulder because you have to work harder.
I think Mitchell was and still is very inclusive of all individuals of different backgrounds.
It means so much to be a part of the black community, to have that support behind you. I feel comfort in knowing that there are people who share the same experiences that I do so that I don't feel alone.
It feels great, being black is just beautiful, black is a beautiful color, it goes with everything, and for black to be on your skin is just, it's just a blessing.
I feel powerful because I feel like, like with everything going on in the world, like I guess you could say like out here in the world, some black people don't get treated the same as white people. So, I mean, I guess you could say I feel powerful to be black.
That's hard. I feel like there's like, not like a spectrum, but I feel like it's like a big revolving door. There's so many things it could mean. It could mean your family dynamic. It could mean how you're looked at. It could mean how you perceive yourself in comparison to other people. I think it's a powerful thing to be able to say that you're a black woman, a black male. I think there's power behind it because of where a lot of people have had to come from, because of what they look like.
To be a black individual comes with different challenges just because you have some people who have a certain look, or maybe it's a certain way that other people, let's say like of older generation, have a thought of how black individuals are. So I'll say it's a challenge in a way to be around other people who may not already think you're a good person. So you just have to take like an extra step to prove that you're a great person. You can be just like everybody else, and you can do the same thing that everybody else can do too.
Yeah, as he said, you gotta take the extra step because you feel like everybody's always looking at you a type of way. Like you gotta make sure you have a good clothes, make sure your pants is good, you got a belt on tight, your hair looks good. Like this, it's always just like a way of you gotta make sure you're like this. But being a black person, has its perks and has its challenges sometimes.
It means that you're awesome.
Scientifically and clinically, being black means you have more melanin pigment in your skin. But in terms of like what it means to be black, it's a privilege. There's a saying that only the strongest soldiers are given the hardest challenges, and I think that definitely applies to being black. There's a lot of hardships that this community, the black community, goes through, but I really do think those hardships are what makes us so resilient.
It's just about having pride in who you are. Us black people, we go through adversity every day.
And we don't let the adversity overcome us. Just like our ancestors, we push through them every single day.
To be a black athlete is different in a way because it's not like a great amount of black athletes, so I would say it's different in a way, but at the same time it's also good, so that way in the future hopefully that we could have more black athletes. So I feel like we're in a way starting to create a path to have more black athletes come.
Yeah, I think being a black athlete is different. Coming up, play with other players, realizing that you can be an example for a younger player too. So like just being that spotlight in a way, realize that you have to do everything right in a way. Even in the history too, being a black athlete, you see like some players they can't dress a certain way because they see like as a gangster or something. Like it's always like you're always in the spotlight. You got to make sure you're up to par.
Means that you're always working harder than everybody else. You're always putting in the extra time and sacrificing a lot more than other people are.
In a nutshell, is overcoming obstacles. I feel like there's a lot of obstacles with black athletes across the board in every state and different countries all around the world. And it means different things because from certain places it's normal. Most athletes are black, and from other places, if you're playing a sport and you're black, you're kind of out of place. So I think it can mean different things, but again, I feel like there's power in being a black athlete and having other black athletes around to be able to support you and uplift you.
It means to like build connections and have people that can relate to you that when you're going through a hardship.
So with being a black athlete, especially a female, there's a lot of pressure. It's the same pressure that was applied to female athletes that, I watched growing up, like FloJo, Venus and Serena Williams, that pressure to be a good role model for younger black females, that's a lot of pressure, and I think I feel that pressure now, both externally and internally. The biggest thing is knowing that while you can come in first, walk away with a trophy, a chip, a medal, that there's always going to be someone who doesn't think you were deserving, who always think you came in last regardless.
Basketball growing up, I started playing basketball when I was about 12 years old. I kind of started kind of late. I was a football player to begin with. I started off playing outdoor courts. I didn't see the indoor courts till I was about 13. So started off from humble beginnings, just playing against older dudes on the streets.
Growing up in volleyball, I didn't see many people in my area that played on the same club team that looked the way that I do, so it was hard trying to adjust and fit in those circumstances.
Basketball for me, I've been playing since I was 4. Joined the league when I was 5, and my dad, he was a referee, so usually I was just around basketball all the time, and then I just ended up taking it serious.
It looked like I was always the only black girl that was out there, and it was predominantly just a bunch of white girls out there playing basketball, and I just had to deal with it. That's why I used to play all the boys.
Growing up, I started playing freshman year because I was cut from the middle school team due to off the court problems as well as in school problems. It was very, I would say, non-diverse because everyone I was one of 2 black people on the team, so that was honestly hard, and especially where I went to high school, it was almost like stereotypical because teams that we would play would use racial slurs and things like that and scream things from the stands. So it was hard, and it's one of those things you have to just overcome, but obviously I did.
I say growing up too, basketball was my first sport. When I first got into basketball, it's I gotta look at the role models like LeBron James and so, the top black athletes in the sport. So, just seeing them play made me be if he can do it, I can do it. So yeah, just practicing, trying to do moves what you do, even the AI, little crossover and so on. Just trying to do what you see other people doing. And you transition well in college. I guess I came from a majority to a minority. So I guess for me it's different in a way, but I'm not really thinking okay, I'm different. I'm still do what I know I can do.
Growing up, I grew up in a small town, Stockton, not very well known. So I didn't grow up in too bad of an area, but as an athlete standpoint, just not being able to get in the gym anytime you want. So I had to just do what I had to do and go outside every single day and that just built me into who I am today.
My older brother started playing it when I was younger, and I wanted to try it, and I stick to it.
Growing up, believe it or not, I was a theater kid. I didn't start playing sports until 6th grade when my doctor said, theater was not giving me the energy expenditure that I needed. I started playing volleyball because, as much as my dad loved a good basketball game, loved a good basketball moment, the running was not my vibe. I was not gonna run up and down the court. So I picked volleyball and I kind of stuck with it. My dad played soccer his entire life, so he got his kids involved at a really young age. I fell in love with the sport almost immediately, and I've been building on my talent ever since.
No, I would say it's pretty much similar. I grew up in a pretty diverse town, and I wanted to replicate that here, and Mitchell definitely gave me that.
I just remember when all the Black Lives Matter protests and things started. In my hometown, there were some, I was present for them, and the community didn't receive them very well, and it was over the summer. So coming here in the fall, we had talked about organizing things. It was always back and forth, but it was during COVID, so we were in quarantine, so we take a lot of walks, and from here to the beach, to Ocean Beach down the street, just every other house, you saw Black Lives Matter, you saw Be Kind, you saw Support Diversity, all the things that you could think of, and that was just like a very big jump from being home over the summer and seeing how my community at home had responded, and then coming here, that's kind of why I said it felt like a comforting community to be here as a Black athlete.
100%. There's definitely more diversity here than there is from where I'm from. Like, not to get it wrong, there's a lot of Black people in Seattle, but like, just like in this school, there's definitely like more than I had in my high school or in like any other school that I've ever gone to.
Yes, I would say New London is a lot more diverse. There's a lot of different cultures, and I feel like the people here are much closer than they are from where I'm from. So yeah, that's why New London is special to me. It's a special place.
I would say from Stanford, no, because Stanford's very diverse. There's a lot, I'd say if anything, there's more people of color there than New London for sure. And I'm not just talking about Black, like everything, Hispanic, Black, European, Asian, you name it. We have it all because it's a big city, like 150,000 people. But in Seymour is just all Caucasian. So, that was definitely a cultural shock, but I was only there for 4 years.
There's places where I go to where it's more people that's not of my skin color, and I will go places and people just stare for a little bit, or they will just have a funny look at first if they see me, like if they've never really seen people of my skin color. So that's really a difference. Like back home, I don't really deal with that.
I'm coming from like a majority, but it's just basically all Black people, to now like a minority. So like realizing that when I'm home, like there's certain things that's geared towards like the Black people, but like over here it's like it's not as much because it's not like we're not the majority here.
I would say yes, because my town, I was the second Black person there, and New London is not too diverse, but it's a lot diverse than my town.
So I grew up in a white picket fence community, and it had its perks, but there's a big difference between New London and Salem. So I think the cultural difference is really significant, but it allowed me to develop as a person and be more comfortable with my heritage. I believe both are very accepting of the Black community, but speaking for back home, we don't see it as race. We see it more as one people or a unity. Regardless if you're Jamaican, Haitian, white, Black, Puerto Rican, anything, we see each other as Bahamian.
My advice would be never believe you aren't good enough because of the color of your skin.
Chase the dream, go for it. Even if it's a space where you don't see yourself in it, make the space for yourself.
Be yourself. be a leader, not a follower. And you can do anything you put your mind to.
Keep going. Keep pushing. Work hard. You'll get to your dreams.
Just follow your dreams, like no matter what, your race, sexuality, or gender, I guess, like anything that like you believe in.
Stay strong, stay focused, don't get mixed into the crowd, don't listen to what everybody else is saying that doesn't know what you may be going through, or they don't know the work that you put in daily. I would say to just find a good mentor that can help you get through tough times, get through adversity, and just stick to what you know and do what you got to do.
Yeah, I say growing up, one of the best advice I got is like take everything with a grain of salt. So that is like you always have somebody try to put it in a 2 cents. You just gotta see like what that person's saying, if that can translate well for you. So like even like playing a song, just realize that you don't get a lot of advice, but make sure you just play your own game. Like make sure you do what you know you can do.
Be patient, stay patient. Nothing happens overnight. Just take your time, and hopefully things will be successful in your life.
Just be you, and if the right people will be around you.
You're gonna have days that suck. You're gonna have days that you don't want to get up based off something that happened or something that somebody said, but you have to, because you don't want to look back on yourself and be frustrated that you didn't.
To not let adversity limit you from doing what you want to do. If you want to do it, do it. Simple.
I feel like if you want to, play college ball, you just gotta, be determined. You gotta have like that work ethic. You just can't give up, and just stay focused on your dreams. Especially as an athlete, there's so many of us competing, so you just gotta be locked in. Just gotta be focused, and that's it.